Hello, my name is Ethan, and welcome back to another episode of Path of Exile, Archnemesis League 3.17. In this episode, I'm going to be showcasing why this Eldritch currency is completely bonkers. First of all, we have targeted annulments, where you increase your odds of hitting the annulment, which literally isn't in the game besides this, except for metacrafting, and where this is better than metacrafting is when you do these influence pieces of gear, and you don't have an influence like Shaper, Elder, a Crusader, and you have 6 modifiers, and you cannot craft the keep prefix or keep suffix, and or you want to remove one of the mods and you can't protect the other one, etc., even with the open mod. And so this is super insane, especially when you combine this with trade and being able to buy an item exactly what you want, but it might have an extra mod, and you can increase your chances over a normal annulment, or even saving the money of having to do the meta crafting of protect prefix, protect suffix for 2 eggs. This is so fucking powerful. It is insane. Eldritch Orb of Annulment. I'll tell you guys how all this works. Also, why is Eldritch Chaos Orbs good, Ethan? Well, to be honest, this is completely insane to me. So, just by doing one of them dominant, which as long as you do the influence shit, like where you use these essences, use these things before, and then like craft your item up fully, and when you have your fully crafted up item, then you add on the really good ones. You roll for the perfect, the brittle, and your spell suppression, your minion damage, your mana reservation, efficiency of skills, all the good stuff. But this is literally a keep prefix, keep suffix, protect, prefix. Prefixes can't be changed. 2x, and these are like 25C, 20C. What? What? So obviously you can't combine this with Harvest like the metacrafting, but this shows you how if you're just doing it to reroll like a Chaos Orb, then it would be better to do this. And also, there's also another option. There was Harvest. You could keep suffix or keep prefix, which would also still be very expensive, usually an X. This is literally that, as long as it's not influenced with one of the old influences. It has to be the new influence. And obviously you'd want to roll your implicits after. You don't want to already have your pre-rolled implicits, unless you have it where the bigger one, because the way this works is the one that's dominant is just the one that's bigger, the higher tier implicit. So technically, let's say for my boot, I already have the really high tiered brittle ground, which is the Searing Exarch, and I wouldn't want to change this. I want the brittle. So I would only be able to change the prefixes, where if I did this at cheap, like using the lesser and the greater, these are very cheap, and I could just switch them based on which one I want to modify, the prefixes or the suffixes. So Searing Exarch for prefixes, gotta be greater, and then you would make lesser for the Iker, Eater of Worlds. But if you wanted to change the suffixes, you would make this one the greater, and you would make this one the lesser. Very simple, very easy. And then I'm figuring out that this is cheaper for the new gear to craft than using metacrafting. So obviously this is good. This is obviously amazing. And then you could also use it with the targeted Orbs of Annulment. And so let's say you re-roll and you get 1 mod, but you don't have open mod. Let's say you need an open mod, you could then target annul, so you could gamble. And then on top of that, instead, maybe after target annulling, you could try slamming again, and you actually have targeted Exalted Orbs for specifically just prefixes or just suffixes also. And they're cheap. These were 8C. These are 8C. These are 20 to 25C. That is the main thing, that this is super cheap, targeted, new influence crafting, which we actually use in the build, and you could technically even use a body armor with like the new aura effect implicit, and you could do like spell suppression and whatever decent mods you want. Now I'll mention the extra bonus. So I'll show you guys this. On top of all of this, you can actually also have fractured gear with the new influence. So then you could have your fractured mod. You can use an essence for this mana reservation, for example, on the helmet. So we could have spell suppression, mana reservation, efficiency of skills, also chaos res as the suffixes. Then, instead of using meta crafting like harvest or the bench, because on this helmet specifically, let's say we were trying to get +3. Now I know this is only item level 85 and that's why it's shit, but let's say it was 86 and I didn't mess up and that it had the ability to get +3. I was doing the numbers and I think it's like 1 in 30 to get the fucking +3 or something insane like that. And so and that's with blocking, evasion, and slamming. So what my idea is to make the in this case Searing Exarch dominant. So you would make the Searing Exarch greater and have the Eater of Worlds lesser, like I have. And I already showed this once actually. I clicked it and I got 99 life, and I was like, there you go, T1 life, easy. So obviously you could get life here, you get the minion gems. That's the main thing. We try to get the +3 minion gems, and it would be cheaper to roll with the Eldritch Chaos Orbs or even Annuls and Exalted Orbs instead of doing the meta crafting. That's the main thing. And then you get to keep the Essence Craft, you get to keep the Fractured mod, and you could still then cheaply roll for the additional mod on non-influence gear where you use the new influence. This is so powerful and so insane. I feel like this is a little bit like endgame, and even I'm not there yet of what do I want and how do I get it and how expensive is it going to be and is it worth it and is it actually better than what I have and all that. I think this is really good, but obviously I can't do this one because it's only 85. Rest in peace. But you can obviously tell how I actually used this in the first place. I had bought this glove off trade, but it didn't have an open prefix, and instead of, this is really insane. Think about it like this. Instead of randomly annulling 6 mods, I removed the 3 that are my best. Literally the god ones, the Chaos Res, the Spell Suppression, the Strength. I kept them safe without having an open prefix to craft, or even... Yeah, open prefix to craft suffixes can't be changed. I didn't have it yet, so really it was enabled by the new Eldritch Orb of Annulment. I slammed it with the Searing Exarch dominant, and boom, easy open prefix, and then I crafted minion damage. Technically I could go again. That's not worth it probably, but I actually did it to the boot as well. I had bought this boot and did the Orb of Annulment targeted on the prefix using the Searing Exarch dominant as well, and the helmet I crafted myself with an Essence of Chaos, Envy. Actually, I just got lucky. I didn't do this yet. I do plan that you could do this in the future by, you know, doing one side of your mods first, and then this is cheaper meta crafting. Basically, you would think of the protect prefix, do the meta crafting. So then, yeah, you just can't do like the reason why this is so good for the helmet too is because there's no harvest to help you hit the +3 minion gems. Like, you could help yourself hit the life, but the +3 minion gems has no type except minion, and it doesn't have that in harvest, and so you can't like protect. Normally you could do like suffixes can't be changed in this case, and then you could do harvest of like life, but we don't have that for minion. Rest in peace. So then in this one you would just spam this 30 fucking times till you get the +3. Need the item level 86, so rest in peace. But dude, this Eldritch currency is so amazing. It's actually so insane, and I think it's part of what makes this new influence like a mid-game power, and it actually competes with endgame to where you almost don't even need to go endgame. It's just you could stay on the mid-game power. So there's like the uninfluence, now there's the medium influence where it's like the normal non-influence but with the extra implicits, and allows the new crafting, which is so cool. And then there's influence and double influence, and I honestly think this stuff is so strong. Like Brittle Ground, almost double damage. We have the spell suppression and the minion damage, which, like the glove, I don't normally have implicits, and it would be an influence. I don't really normally go influence because the one you would do is Redeemer and it's 30 minion damage. So this, with the craft in 22, is actually more minion damage. And the other alternative is a synthesis glove with like avoid elemental ailments, and to be honest, with the shock and the frozen, we're fine. And like we would have to give up the Brittle Ground on the boot. Brittle Ground is really sick. And then the helmet, the extra mana reservation, efficiency of skills 12% is actually the Redeemer mod elevated Maven mod. It's literally the influenced mod, and then I can also have a crazy helmet of mods of normal non-influence, and extra minion life still, and the enchant, and it wasn't that bad to make. Where if I did an Elder Bone Helmet, I won't have the spell suppression. I will have minion damage, generic minion damage, and then I would have to go Redeemer if I wanted the mana reservation. Yeah, it's actually pretty hard to do. And then, like I showed you, technically there's the alternative I'm making, I want to make, is you could get spell suppression, mana reservation, and chaos res all together on the suffixes, and then do the prefixes second, where you get the +3 with like a 1 in 30 of these chaos orbs. And I already have them, so technically I would just have to actually get the suffixes, and then I'd have the +3, and I could craft life, and unless I hit life, and that would be pretty insane. Then I could roll the prefixes, so you'd have on this helmet, or you could roll the implicits. This could be 22% increased mana reservation efficiency of skills. That's insane. With the spell suppression, with the life, with the +3, that's a disgusting helmet. And the enchant you can have, yeah. You could go carry on golem damage, you could go Dread Banner if you're using the Dread Banner. There's also technically Flesh Offering. There's also mana reservation or increased reservation efficiency of skills for the different auras that you can do that you're using. Determination, Grace if you're using Grace, or Haste, or Skitterbots, or Pride, or whatever aura you want to reduce the mana cost of. Either way, I I hope this video taught you about Eldritch currency, and also taught you why it's fucking broken and people are sleeping on it, and it's so cool, and you could already start using it now. Don't even just think about the crazy spell suppression gear that you could annul. There's also just other gear that you look up on trade, and now if it's able to be influenced like this, so not an old influence like Shaper, Elder, or the Conquerors, then, and you can add these, then you can modify the mods better than we've ever had before. Well, okay, Harvest was pretty insane, but I mean, like, since all that stuff's gone, we don't have targeted and all. This is better odds, the cheaper metacrafting, and then what the hell, cheap Exalted Orbs to go with the cheap metacrafting? Why aren't people buying it? I don't get it. It's broken. This isn't obviously really early game. It's not super budget, but then the mid game and the end game gets completely wrecked by it's amazing. It's so good. I hope this helps you guys. I hope this has shown you guys the way. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks for hanging out. I hope this helps you, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye. Alright, to be honest, I felt weird not showing a single use, so I'm gonna show all three of them. We showed that this one has Searing Exarch greater and the other one's lesser. This is what I recommended if you wanted to change the prefixes. So in this case, you could re-roll the 90 life. Obviously, I don't know why. Yeah, boom. 5 life, yep. And then to show you could actually targeted annul the prefix, yep. And then you could also Eldritch Exalted, or boom. And I got +2 minion gems. You see, so if this was 86, maybe I would have hit +3 with my 5 life. It would have been absolutely hilarious. Either way, now that's the end of the video. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks for hanging out. And hey, if you guys like this video, hit that like button. Let's get 75 likes in one day on this video. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!